Yeah, and the competition level has almost went from last year to being one way to
Well, and that's this year. That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Last year it was dominated by 2 drivers.
Yeah.
This year, when we talked about, it's been a little different story. And the the championship night, you guys had 2 different clubs in the house to put on one show. How'd that go, by the way? Was there any was a little conflict, a little
Nope.
Everybody got along good.
Everybody got along good. Everybody pitted on one side, and everybody in the other people's pitted on the other side.
Nobody claiming east side, west side.
Nope.
Everything's good.
No gangsta. No yo dogs. Nothing like that. You know.
No yo dogs.
Got a White House over here going,
Oh, dude.
yo.
I don't know what James is doing. I don't know if he's throwing gang signs or having a seizure, but
I think he's like recreating something from Top.
it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. I'll give him props.
Straight out of Albany, yo.
What up, Holmes?
So, let's talk about these dwarf cars.
So listen to this. So Jimmy Brinster, right, was the man you would think to be in the main event. Okay? Led from the get-go, but would lose the okay, well, hold on. Before I even get to that. We had a substitute driver in the 12 car. The 12 car piloted by Marty Holmison.
Marty.
Yeah.
When he was down there, the Iron Giant. Hey,
But somebody else's name was on that 12 car.
somebody fast?
Yeah, somebody
Is
very.
it? Oh, wait a second. No, it wasn't. Was that the car Brian Smith was in?
Nope.
Okay, but he did run a car down there.
He did.
He ran for Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we'll just put it like this: the 9 car didn't show up.
Martinez in the 12.
Martinez in the 12.
What happened to his car?
Nothing.
Just filled. I think it's a little R&D going on.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's well, I straight up asked Marty. Marty was pretty cool with it, and he sat there and he says, "Man," he says, "you know what? He saw me when I was walking through the pits, and he says, 'Hey, man,' he says, 'jump on in.' So I jumped into his 1942 blinged out golf cart.
Right?
You know, 1 foot up on the steering wheel, it's chain steering wheel, blinking lights everywhere. No,
Chilling. Look at that. It's like a
So,
discotheque on a golf club.
So I asked him. I said, "What's up with the name change on the 12 car, man?" He says, "Oh, you saw that?" I said, "Yeah, I saw that." I said, "You realize I said I have my gear out in the track?" He goes, I know." He says, "But you can't announce from the car." You watch me. Watch
You were
me.
trying to get.
No, for a fact, I can sit there and take that microphone to the backstretch. You watch. I'll
Mhm.
duct tape it to the head. Something's happening. So I don't care who's happening in front of me. I'll just announce what's happening in front of, what's going on around me. So, but anyways, he called Ryan midweek. He says, "Hey, man, check this out. Do you mind filling in for me racing my car?" He says, "Well, what's up?" He says, "Just not feeling it, man." And I said, and I looked at him. I said, "What do you mean you're just not feeling it?" He said, "You just ran the Iron Giant. You're bad fast down there." He said, "Street style, everything else." He said, "You were supposed to come up Sunday." And this is kind of where things started clicking, right? Remember how I told you, because he ran the Iron Giant on Sunday, or he
Right.
ran Street Stocks on Sunday.
Mhm.
And his comment to me was, "Oh, I woke up late, was supposed to head up to St. Helens, run the dwarf car, go from there. Just got up too late. Nah, I figure I'll stay here." I don't think that's the case. What it is after his accident on the front stretch this year, going into turn number 1, he's not been 110%. And I think it's getting to him. I think because it has knocked him out, he doesn't remember, all those kind of things or whatever like that. Those are kind of getting to him. I think the bigger cars aren't as bad because, you have...
It's slow motion in comparison.
Oh, very, very much so. You start taking those dwarf cars and stuff, especially at Willamette Speedway, but if you start taking them at Sunset where it's, stop and go, but it's quick, stop, quick, it's just all the time. It just wasn't, he just wasn't feeling it, and that was the thing, is I think putting Ryan in the car, and I kind of sat back and looked, I'm like, if Marty really isn't feeling get back in this dwarf car, and you'll see why in a minute, how Ryan did, there might be a driver change in that 12 car.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking bad fast.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so listen to
That's
this.
good equipment, though.
That's top dollar.
Yeah, that's a nice little
but
ride.
Ryan Martinez's car, the night
Well,
car,
there's no
is still
doubt.
top dollar
No,
and everything
absolutely.
else too. So he would lead on the go. This is Jimmy Brinster would lead at the very beginning. Okay, Shane Youngren, who would run on the top 3, Ryan Martinez, would make the pass on lap 25. Okay, so Jimmy Brinster was him and Martinez were neck and neck all night long. Okay, Martinez was sitting right there and everything else. and then you had Jimmy Brinster leading this. 25 laps down, Ryan Martinez goes into turn number 1, makes a little bit of effort, pushes him out, takes the lead. 5 laps to go. No cautions. Okay? Lap 25, Jimmy would go up in turn number 1. That would make the pass. Basically, Ryan would come, and that was Ryan's first win of the 2016 season.
See, that right there just freaks me out, knowing that is his first win at Sunset this year after what he did there last year. That's
Dominated. I mean, he was
absolutely.
He was the man to beat. I mean, it was his championship. 2014 championship. 2015 championship.
Well, between him and Youngren last year, and this year, it didn't sound like he raced full time though. It was kind of a
he
kind of bounced in and out.
He did. I mean, he missed a couple races and stuff, but it still wasn't something that you would think that he would struggle that much on. You know what I mean? It just didn't seem like he would struggle this year, coming off of a championship, and it just didn't seem like like it was him. Once he got in that 12 car, different story.
Mm-hmm.
That kid was, I mean, right up to the top. I mean, it wasn't
old times.
Old times.
Yep.
Shane Youngren, about 15 laps in, started moving backwards.
Youngren going backwards.
Really?
And moving backwards, and moving backwards, and moving backwards. By the time the checker flag came, P7.
No way.
Wow.
Second place, Jimmy Brinster. Third, Ronnie Gilmore Jr. Fourth, Jake Van Ortwick in the 50.
That's
53.
a good run for Jake.
He's good. Harry Corbin the third.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Shane Youngren would have finished 7th. Guy Tao Jr., that started second row outside, 9th.
Wow, what happened? I mean, that's your fast guys. I mean, your traditionally fast guys just were off or what?
I don't know. It was. I'm telling you, it was
it a different racing surface or something?
cold. I'm telling you right now, it was cold.
Dry slick though.
Very dry. Well, yeah, it was dry slick.
Or was it patchy?
Was there any cushion to work with on the top side? Is that why Martinez was so good?
No,
or was it just
smooth? I mean, the track itself was like any other night.
Mm-hmm.
It was just there was a lot of wind and it
just
was
sealed
cold.
the track up, no traction.
Yeah, but it was weird. You saw the guys and stuff that are usually top 2, top 3 each and every single night. Now you got Jimmy Brinster up there. You have Jake Van Ortwick, Ryan Martinez in the 12. I mean, you have some of the guys that are top 5 back that usually that's where they run. And not saying nothing bad about Jake Van Ortwick because he's very, very
He's
fast.
a driver.
He's
a driver.
Ryan Martinez, Jimmy Brinster. But it's almost like later on, in a fuel run, they seem to either stop, not make any forward progress, or just doesn't, just don't move anywhere.
Well, that's the thing with cold dense air too on the engines. You're going to use more fuel. You're going to lighten it up. It's going to throw your percentages off. I mean, where the fuel cells are in these cars, it's going to take away your rear percentage. I mean, you've got a colder, denser charge of air going to the engine. So it could be a setup issue.
But I mean, but get
well,
this
and
though.
you get those little dwarf cars loose
yeah.
when they get light in the tail end. You get your hands full of high horsepower
Exactly.
and a short wheelbase.
But get this. This is the weird thing. Is Shane Youngren top 3 all night long, 5 laps to the end, just moving backwards. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I haven't talked to him or nothing yet. But I mean, it was just something that you just don't see in Youngren.
Could have been loss of power, could have been tires. I mean, that's a
thing.
plethora of possibilities there. But
It could be anything from a driver to mechanical. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Coming into that night, right? 2 races left. Remember, Shane Youngren, 952 points over Guy Tao Sr., who wasn't there.
wasn't there.
Was not there.
Why?
I don't know. Fishing.
He's
maybe.
in the hunt. He's in the hunt for the title.
He's second place, but 837 points to 952 coming in.
Yeah, that's
hard to do.
It's Shane Youngren's. It's Shane Youngren's championship.
It's
I mean,
his time to lose.
Guy Tao Senior or Guy Tao Jr. was 724. So you're not going to get 100 points. So he's not going to pass his dad.
Well, you can if you win everything and have all the luck go your way. It's possible,
Exactly.
but that's a hard thing
Especially
to do.
with that car count too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
gonna drive your
30
points.
cars. It was just.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 2 B mains. Listen to this: 2 B mains. First B main winner, Eric Burnquist. Second B main winner, Kevin Benson.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Did good. Transferred the top 2 out of each. So it started with a 16 field. Yeah, I mean, it was a good field. I mean, you just kept on watching these guys keep on coming and coming and coming and
And the
qualifying
dwarf cars,
qualifying.
The dwarf cars, if you haven't seeing the dwarf cars at sunset. That's something you got to do because
absolutely.
that's a hell of a show.
Dude, they're just
those little guys get around quick.
they're
Yeah.
pissed off dwarves. I mean, they're just like pissed off
dude.
midgets. They're quick and they sound awesome.
No,
and-
we're talking about dwarf cars, not midgets.
Oh yeah, them too.
Okay.
Listen to this. 11 cars started, right? The Northwest Wingless Sprint Tour, 30-lap A main event. Lance Hallmark. Now, have a little bit of something to talk about Lance in the 8H car.
We will talk about that in a little while. Yep.
Front row was Lindsey Barney on the inside. Outside of...
Wait. Barney was on the front row.
Uh-huh.
On the pole.
Boy, that's bad news for the lot. That's
Hold on.
all right.
Hold
I'm
on.
listening.
The drama is thick in this one.
Oh, here we go.
Rob Lindsay on the
Yep.
outside. Now remember,
Yeah, he won
Rob,
it. He won
Rob
at Willamette.
Lindsay was going for the championship this year.
Mhm.
Okay, all he had to do was finish.
Wait, you said was.
Well, is going for the was because it's past tense because he's
Past
now
tense.
he's
Okay.
he's now
Okay.
yeah
He's
now,
setting us up for the fall.
I know.
There,
yeah
yeah.
he's now the 2016
Look at that
track
smile,
champion.
Corey.
Yeah, Rob would get a quick jump on Colin Baker and would fall into second. Put Lindsay to third. Okay.
Wow.
This
From
is
the
how-
pole to third, just like that.
This is how they. Well, okay. So the first green flag,
Mhm.
immediate caution because he didn't like the start. Lindsay just bombarded. I mean, was gone by like 3 car lengths at the start finish line. Justin's like, no.
Well,
we're
that's
we're
when-
gonna go ahead and check that thing back. So
Was it a jump, in your opinion?
I just think that she's just that good.
Yeah.
I think she basically, when she came out of turn 3, was in the apex of turn 3, and when Justin threw the flag, I think she was dead on nuts. I don't think that Rob Lindsay was either paying attention because he was on the outside. I don't know. I give it to Lindsey Barney, but they called it back. Second restart. Okay, second restart goes. They make almost a full complete lap. All of a sudden, something breaks in one of the back set cars. I believe it was Johnson's car. I can't quote that or not. The 9J broke something in the rear, almost like a Jacob's ladder or something like that. But it just sounded just terrible pulling in the infield.
Mm-hmm.
Full complete restart again. This the restart on the third time. That's when Baker would go into second, put Lindsay back, and then would put Rob Lindsay on the front row. Okay, going into turn 1. Lap number 3, Colin would take the lead over Rob, bringing with him Lindsey Barney, who on the next lap would go into 1 and 2, and she would take it over. You talk about take it over. I'm telling you, she drove like she was driving a 410 World of Outlaw sprint car, but she dove it in there and slide jobbed him and took it over and pushed him up a little bit. And Baker was like, "Oh, really?" Fell back to third. Barney was the car to beat until 5 laps to go. Dealing with lap traffic would give Baker the chance to catch Barney going into turn 3 and 4. Side by side of the front stretch, Baker would force his way underneath Barney in 1 and 2. This is the kicker, okay? No cautions except for the first 2.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare once you get a open wheel sprint car, especially non-wing, to go all the way to the checkered flag without a caution. That's awesome.
It was good.
That's good.
Gumby Batalji was there. He
All
was
right,
driving Lemon X.
Chris.
He did actually pretty good. Something happened to him, happened to his car and pulled off. But this is where the drama kicks in, okay? Because the crowd, once they heard what happened, went ecstatic. Lindsey Barney would go into 1 and 2, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Baker would do basically what she did to him on lap number 5. So this is
He returned the favor.
lap number
Okay.
5. She
All
did
right.
it to him. 5 laps to go. He did it to her. Instead of letting up coming out of turn number 2, drove right over top of her left front wheel. Oh, spinning her out. He would go on. Caution flag would come out. So she's stuck over there in turn number 2. Left front's all broke off the car, everything else. Justin's like, well, you know what? Told you guys, no rough driving. And if you do, guess what came out? Black flag. Send him to the pits. The crowd went a roar. The people who stayed
went a roar.
So
And it sounded like a full stadium because they were. I mean,
were they roaring in agreement or they were roaring in disagreement?
a roaring in agreement.
Okay.
It was one of those moves. I'll show you on the video. You know, a little